Hi, this is Shawna, your friendly neighborhood word witch, and I am here, as always, to help you put magic in your manuscript. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm a freelance editor and a writing coach, as well as an author of 11 novels and counting, and a bunch of other small stuff I haven't even counted. For the people who are returning, I just want to apologize for having been gone so long. My brother's been here visiting. I don't usually get to see him. And of course, I'm trying to get that novel finished that I've been promising my readers. I was also a vendor at the Victorian Fair the weekend before last. It's always a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too, setting up the table where I sell my books, making sure I have my steampunk garb ready to go, finding someone to help me into my steampunk garb, people who are really good at tightening your corset and know how to do it to get the best outline. Wonderful people. So the hat seller had some witch hat blanks, and so I bought a couple to play with, so I have a variety of hats eventually to delight or at least amuse you. So this one is for when I started on. It's kind of a work in progress. I started adding some little trinkets. Usually when I'm wearing jewelry, I kind of stick with a few go-to pieces. And so there's a lot of trinkets that, I don't really wear, but I still really like them. And they are still really, some of them have great sentimental value. So I decided that's what I'm going to be doing with this hat. And you'll see they'll see a lot of changes in this hat as we go along. I got plans for it. But I know that you're not coming to hear me talk about my hats. I can say that I did try to write an episode about backstory, and I was using little trinkets as, from my past as a metaphor for backstory in the novel, and yeah, it didn't work out. So I was thinking of you guys. You're better off not seeing that particular episode. So now I decided I'm going to use my lack of focus on actually getting episodes out to talk about focus part 2, keeping your protagonist focused on the goal. Yeah, that's a really silly segue, wasn't it? So one thing I see a lot of in manuscripts I'm editing, and unfortunately even like published works and some big budget movies, is that there's a failure of the protagonist to maintain a focus on their goal. So, and you need, in order for your reader to care about your book, they need to care about what the protagonist cares about. This connects a little bit to the story arc episode that I was talking about last time, but sometimes your beginning can match your end, but you're just wandering all over the place in the middle. Your readers won't finish the book, let alone buy your next book, if they find themselves not caring about what your protagonist wants. And the only way that they can care about the protagonist's goals, or if the protagonist really cares about their goals. And it doesn't work to just say, oh, my protagonist really, really wants whatever it is they want. Date with Susie Q, or to rid the world of evil blood-sucking hamsters. Your protagonist has to show that ridding the world of evil vampire hamsters matters to them more than anything else in the world. The only way to show this is by having the character consistently focus on defeating the evil hamsters. So what do I mean by this? For example, sorry, my cat was asking for attention. Do you want to come see? No, you're still not going to talk to the people. Okay, so the only way to defeat the hamsters is to reach the summit of Sugar Candy Mountain by the solar eclipse, which is 2 p.m. next Tuesday, and sing a sacred song to the cat gods. Sugar Candy Mountain is a week's travel away, and it's already Thursday. So your protagonist is going to have to break some serious traveling records getting there. Now, clearly, your protagonist is going to have to stop and eat sometime. We'll give them that. Maybe she can even lose her heart to the handsome lad or lass that serves her up the best butternut squash stew she has ever eaten. That's called world building, character development, subplot, alone and together, depending on how you handle it. And generally, those things are good things. But if your protagonist chooses to stay an extra day in order to help her new romantic prospect sell squashes at the village fair, your reader is going to wonder how committed your protagonist really is to saving the world from evil vampire hamsters. The reader might even wonder if evil vampire hamsters are really all that dangerous, because protagonist isn't too worried. And no, you can't make this better by adding a farm heading for bankruptcy and a baby that's going to starve. Not if those hamsters are really that dangerous. You might make the protagonist feel really bad. Suffering characters are always fun. But if you want your readers to take your protagonist seriously, she'd better be heading for Sugar County Mountain as soon as she's eaten and slept. And yeah, there are stories where the point is for the character to change, and that change is shown by the character changing goals. But in those stories, the story is about that change, and then you, the writer, have to keep your focus on that change so that you are setting up reasons for it, having the risk benefits weighed by the character. But ultimately, it is up to you as the writer. You have to stay focused. It's easy to get lost in your world building or that cool romance subplot you have going. That's why you have to keep remembering what your book is about in your own mind as you write, or at the very least, as you're doing your second pass edit. Easier for people who outline first. Can be pantsers need to do a lot more editing. That is what it is. Pick your poison. Okay, so we had our focus lecture. Before I go, let me thank you for taking this time out to focus on my video. Yeah, sorry, couldn't resist. If you found this useful or entertaining, or you just want to help a witch out, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Also, if you're curious about my books, I promise there's no evil hamsters in any of them. You can find my books on Amazon, or by going to my website, www.shawnareppert.com. You can also contact me through that website if you're interested in hiring me for freelance editing or writer coaching, talk about having me do a class. And if you would like to help to remotely buy me a cup of tea, there's links in the comments, and I'm also going to put links below to my website, my Amazon page. So I hope you find this entertaining, enlightening, useful, not a bad way to spend some time. And I hope you keep putting that magic in your manuscript.